I came out and she said, Bryson, do your clothes. I had to do most of them because Mom said you were in the bathroom, so I had to do them.
What were you doing in the bathroom, Bryson?
I was going to the bathroom and then I was on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I came out. Welcome to True Parenting. You know how in true crime documentaries they do kind of hokey, kind of cheesy, but also engrossing dramatic reenactments of true events? We're doing the same thing, but with Alicia's parenting style, which I love her style. I want you to see it. I hope you enjoy it. I will be playing the parts of our children with their consent. Hope you enjoy.
Okay, Bryson, let's talk about why you were in your room yesterday, because that was your consequence of your choices that you made to be dishonest.
What do you mean?
Do you remember before we went to the hot springs?
Yeah, I had some clothes that Shayla had put in the washer. You can ask her.
No.
I came out and she said, Bryson, do your clothes. I had to do most of them because Mom said you were in the bathroom, so I had to do them.
What were you doing in the bathroom, Bryson?
I was going to the bathroom and then I was on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I came out.
All day yesterday, you were not doing what you were supposed to do so that we could go. You were supposed to get your room clean, and you were supposed to get your dirty clothes in the laundry bin. You did not do either of those things. I needed to start the laundry before we left, so I finally said, Shayla, I don't know what Bryson is doing, but I need you to just get the dirty clothes out of his room. You don't then get to make it Shayla's fault.
Okay.
And that's why you got in so much trouble, because I knew all day long yesterday morning you were stealing the phone and you were going to go play on it, either outside or in the bathroom. And I knew that was happening. And that's why you got in so much trouble before we left yesterday.
Okay.
And you don't have the opportunity to earn that privilege back. You have lost all trust because what you have consistently shown me with your behavior is that unless I'm watching you, you're going to try and get away with anything that you want to get away with. And so you don't have the privilege of being able to go and do things on your own without my supervision.
Okay.
Do you see how your choices led to that?
Yes.
So that's where we're at. You had already lost the privilege of playing with your friends because of lying. And then by your continued lying and trying to get out of work, you lost the privilege of doing anything else besides working or being in bed.
Okay.
And you can make that choice. If you don't want to work, that's fine. You can stay in bed. But if you are out of bed, you are working.
Okay.
So was being on the phone last night, was that worth losing another day of playing with your friends?
No.
Was that worth it?
No.
Then why did you make that choice? Are you stopping and thinking through your actions before you make a choice?
No.
What is going to help you stop and think it through?
I don't know.
I don't know either, buddy, but I do know that if I don't hold you accountable, it's only hurting you. It's not helping you.
Okay.
So what are we doing right now?
I'm going inside.
What did I tell you last night before you went to bed?
Clean the room.
No, that's not what I said exactly.
Clean the room and then come to you to get more work.
So you can clean your room, you can eat breakfast, and then you can come talk to me. If you're not doing either of those two things, you just need to stay in bed.
Okay.
What are you going to do right now?
I'm gonna clean my room.
Okay, so have you eaten?
No.
But you're choosing not to eat until after you clean your room?
No, I'm gonna eat. I'll go eat right now.
Okay, why are you whining at me?
Because it's hot in here. It was warm and then it got hot. How are you wearing this?
I turned the heat off. Bryson, the heat is off.
Yeah, but it's still in the car.
Okay, Bryson, I think a more accurate description is I'm frustrated with myself and I'm frustrated with my behavior, and that's why I'm whining.
Okay, but it is hot. It is.
Okay, so Bryson, why are you whining?
You just said it.
I want you to say it.
Because I'm frustrated with my behavior and my actions.
Look at me. I want to be clear that we are on the same page. What are you going to do right now?
Eat breakfast, clean my room, and come talk to you.
How much time are you going to spend eating breakfast?
I don't know. How could I know these things?
How about 10 minutes?
No, an hour.
No, an hour is not acceptable. Bryson, I want to make sure we're on the same page.
We are. I literally...
So you're going to spend 10 minutes eating breakfast.
I don't... Yeah.
Okay, so right now it's 12:34. By 12:44, you're going to be cleaning your room. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And what happens if you don't follow through with what we talked about?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. Do you just go to bed for the rest of the day? Who's the best person to hold you accountable?
Me.
It's you. Great. So are you going to hold yourself accountable to those commitments?
Yes.
Why am I having this conversation with you?
So I do my work. Mom, time is running out.
Okay, your 10 minutes can start as soon as you get out of the car.
Okay.
Thanks for talking. Love you.
Love you too. Whoa, that Bryson, am I right? I'm sorry. That kid. No, we're gonna use that seriously. That kid. You are so patient with him. It's inspiring.
Sometimes I'm exhausted.
So what were you doing here?
Yeah, so we have had the conversation with him about honesty hundreds and thousands of times. It's definitely a challenge of his personality. He is a closer. We joke that he's a closer. If you don't know what that means, go check out our marriage problems video where we talk about our personalities and we give a bit of an explanation. Or if you want, check out our membership site and you can do a deep dive in our personalities course. But he has such a push forward, insistent energy. Like he sees something he wants and he goes after it consistently. And in this conversation, he kept stealing technology. And let me be clear, there's nothing wrong with technology. For him specifically, there is a direct correlation to how much technology he has and how it affects his behavior.
Yeah.
And he struggles with anger and outbursts and things of that nature anyways. And so we really have to be careful with how much access that he has. And what he was doing is he was not doing his jobs. He kept stealing things and hiding and sneaking. And of course, I knew what was going on, but I couldn't find him.
Where is he?
We were in the middle of working and getting ready to go on a family trip. And what happened is I eventually just had to ask his sister, go pick up the dirty clothes in his room and put them in the washing machine. And then he tried to blame the fact that he didn't take care of something on the fact that, well, she was the one that picked up my dirty clothes and put them in the washing machine. And I'm like, that's because you kept disappearing. And I knew you were disappearing. And so, there's a couple things here. And as we've done these videos, there's something I want to be clear about. This is not the only way to parent, right?
No.
This is what works for me. I am a thinker closer. I am direct. I am logical. I am not about the fun or the overwhelming love and comfort,
Nurturing,
right?
warmth. But you bring both of those in.
I try my best, right? And then we also make it kind of fun and dry at times, right? And so
And
this
sometimes silly and playful.
yeah. So this is what works for me because most of the time, I just want to lose it and scream and yell. If that would fix anything, I would, right?
Right.
So sometimes my parenting style comes off as a little dry, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's not, here's the way to parent. Here's an idea. This is what it could look like, especially with a child who is so insistent and has such push forward and focused energy that they're going to just do what they want regardless of anything else you do.
And as a quick caveat, the True Parenting series was my idea because I am more warm and nurturing naturally and I am more playful naturally. And that only gets you so far. There are times where you need the structure and you need the ability to hold people accountable in a way that I struggle with. And so I watch you with our kids and then I see the results and I'm like, the world needs this. And
The world needs you.
And with those closer personalities, that is what they need so badly.
Yeah.
They need incredible consistency and accountability. And they need to know the law of the harvest or that there are consequences to their actions. And consequences aren't necessarily a bad thing. It's just what happens after, right? And so the consequence of being honest is that you're trustworthy. The consequence of lying and stealing is that I don't trust you, right? And that's the conversation we have. And I don't sit there and lecture him about you're dishonest, you're a bad person, why would you do this? We've talked about this literally hundreds and thousands of times. I'm so exhausted, I don't know what to do with you.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there's some of that feeling in there inside, right? But we redirect that. We redirect that to, is this who you want to be? Is this the life you want to create? I knew what was going on. These are the consequences of your decisions. And that makes me so sad that you get to miss out on playing with your friends again. I am sad about that, right? And the other thing is you have to create really, really clear boundaries for closers. Other personality types don't need as clear boundaries. And so that's why I ask him, okay, what's the plan? Okay, what are we doing next? And it seems almost nitpicky that I'm like, how long are you going to eat breakfast for? And I'm not trying to control him. I'm trying to, one, help him feel like he has as much accountability over his life as possible.
Well, when you ask him, he gets to set that parameter.
Right. And closers need that. They need to feel like they have control over their life. So in any way possible, in age-appropriate ways, I'm giving him control over his life. But we also need him to be a supportive part of our family. I need him to be able to pick up his room. I need him to be able to put his clothes in the dirty clothes so that they can be washed, right? And he has the consequence of his choices of you can either earn back the privilege of being a helpful part of this family, which because you've crossed so many boundaries that were clearly laid, your only option is to either A, stay in your room, or B, help. Okay? And so how long are you going to take to eat breakfast? And then he decides. Now, just because I asked that question, it doesn't matter whatever answer he gives. I'm like, yeah, that's what we're doing. You know, he tells me I'm going to take an hour to eat breakfast. And I say, that's not going to work for me. Right? And so that back and forth and meeting that child's needs. If this child was my daughter, who's a healer, that conversation would look completely different, mostly because her challenges don't look like his challenges, right?
Yeah.
And so it's a combination of being aware of what his needs are, how much structure he needs, and what my needs are, along with the needs of the family unit. And so I hope that makes some sense. And I hope you can take those principles and apply them to your own life in a way that's supportive for you.
Because love takes different forms
Yeah.
for different children. And sometimes it looks like accountability and consistency. And sometimes it looks like letting them face the consequences for their actions and not rescuing them so that they learn those lessons now when the stakes are low instead of later when the stakes are high.
And we separate the behavior from the person,
Yes.
right? Because while I say to him, lying is not acceptable, I don't say to him, you are not acceptable, right?
In fact, you're very careful always to end these conversations with "I love you,"
Right.
and that to me is so powerful. I love you. I accept you. These annoyances or these struggles that we're having, none of that changes that I love you and I always will, and that is powerful.
Yeah. So I hope this helps.
If you've enjoyed this, we've got a whole True Parenting playlist for you to enjoy. Check that out. It's going to pop up here at the end. What wrestles have you had with your kids in honesty and accountability? And as Alicia said, this isn't the only way to parent. What's worked for you? Let us know in the comments below so that we can all learn from each other.
And do you have any closers in your house? How do you manage? We all need to help each other.
Until next time, folks, keep shining because we need your light.